If you're in college leadership, you know the pressure is relentless. You've got to deliver a world-class education, somehow balance the budget, and keep your staff from burning out. It feels like walking a tightrope, doesn't it? Well, today, we're going to look at a powerful and frankly underutilized strategic advantage that might just solve all three of those problems at once. So here's our game plan. First, we'll dive into what we're calling the higher ed pressure cooker. Then, we're going to uncover a surprising 2% strategic advantage that most institutions are completely missing. We'll show you how it's a zero-cost, zero-effort program. After that, we'll get right into the numbers with your guaranteed operational ROI and wrap up with how all of this builds just unbreakable loyalty with your team. All right, let's kick things off with a reality that I'm sure you know all too well. It's that constant battle, that tension between two massive priorities, keeping the budget in the black and keeping your people from burning out. And that leads us to the million-dollar question, right? How in the world can you reduce your operational costs while at the same time strengthening your most valuable asset, your people? I mean, these seem like they're in direct opposition. It sounds like a paradox, but the solution is actually way more straightforward than you think. Think about it. On one hand, you've got this intense, unrelenting pressure on the budget. There's a constant need to shrink those general fund expenditures. And on the other hand, your staff is just stretched to the limit. You're seeing the results of that every day, right? More last-minute call-offs, higher turnover, and you can just feel the morale taking a hit. These two things, they just feed each other in this really destructive cycle. But what if you could break that cycle? What if there was a hidden opportunity just sitting there? Well, that brings us to what I call a 2% strategic advantage. Here's the thing. There are federally backed incentive programs that already exist. They were literally designed to help organizations just like yours provide real, meaningful well-being support for your entire team, from your top professors to your administrative staff. Now get a load of this number. Only 2%. That's it. Just 2% of organizations are actually using these federal incentives right now. You know what that means? It means 98% of institutions are leaving a massive opportunity on the table, an opportunity to support their people and their bottom line. This isn't just another wellness program, it's a real competitive advantage just waiting for you to claim it. So naturally, the first two questions that pop into your head are probably, okay, how much is this going to cost me and how much work is this going to be for my team? So this next part is all about answering those questions by completely removing those barriers. First, let's talk effort, or more accurately, the lack of it. The model here is what we call turnkey. And what that really means is that the entire solution is managed for you, from A to Z, from introducing it to your staff, to getting everyone onboarded, to handling all the tech support down the road. It requires, and I mean this, zero work from your already swamped administrative teams. And now, let's talk money. This is the best part. The program uses those federal incentives we mentioned to cover 100% of the cost. Let me be really clear here. There is absolutely no new budget line item. Your general fund is completely untouched. In fact, as we're about to see, this doesn't just cost you nothing. It can actually lead to net savings for the institution. You know, the implementation process really couldn't be any simpler. It's basically 2 steps. Step 1, you and your leadership team just say yes. And step 2, we handle literally 100% of everything else. It is genuinely that easy. Okay, so if it costs nothing and takes no effort, what's the actual return? Let's switch gears and talk about the guaranteed operational ROI. This is how we go from staff support directly to a financial surplus. And listen, we are not talking about some fuzzy, abstract value here. Operational ROI is a hard metric. It's the direct dollars and cents savings you get when you stop scrambling to find coverage for last-minute call-offs and when you slash the massive costs that come with staff turnover. This little table here just makes the impact crystal clear. Right now, without a program like this, call-offs are high, the cost to cover them is significant, and that adds up to a negative financial hit. But with the program, call-offs go down, those coverage costs are minimized, and that net financial impact flips from negative to positive. And that really brings us to a fundamental shift in how we think about this. Investing in your staff's mental fitness isn't an expense anymore. It's a guaranteed return. But you know, that financial return is actually driven by something much, much deeper. And that's what we're going to talk about in our final section, building unbreakable loyalty by supporting the whole human. because this is the real engine that powers those financial results we just talked about. You see, a program like this doesn't just put a Band-Aid on workplace stress. It gives people real, tangible support tools that cover the major areas of a person's life: their family, their health, their money, and their own self-care. It's about recognizing that your staff are people with full, complex lives way beyond the campus walls. And this is so key. When you show your team that you genuinely care about them as whole humans, not just as employees filling a role, you create a bond that a paycheck alone just can't buy. This is, without a doubt, the most effective way to deepen their loyalty and their commitment to your institution. And it's all delivered in a way that people will actually use. We're talking about a simple, mobile-first app that fits right into the crazy workday of a professor or a staff member. It provides support tools that are actually accessible, and it genuinely helps improve morale across the board. So let's just put it all together. Your team gets the critical support they need. Your institution gets a guaranteed operational return on investment, which eases that budget pressure, and it requires zero effort on your part. It is a true win-win, which, really leaves just one question on the table. Why not now?